Good evening and welcome to Downtown Yoga. I'm Ashley from Tallyssee's Florida Blue team. We miss seeing you, but we wanted to let you know that our team is still here for you and the health of you and our community remains our top priority. Our team is still here for you. Give us a call if you have questions about COVID-19, you want to talk to a nurse, you want to speak to our customer service team, or if you need help with the product and you don't have health insurance or you're not sure what you have is best for you during this time, we would love to help you. We're just a phone call away. Thank you for helping us accomplish our mission of keeping people and our community achieving better health.
Hello and welcome to Downtown Yoga, sponsored by Florida Blue and Downtown Tallahassee. My name is Addie, and I'll be your guide for today. Today's practice is inspired by the Ashtanga method. Ashtanga is a vigorous practice, so feel free to modify or rest when you need to. We'll start standing at the top of the mat, stepping into a mountain pose and pressing the palms together at heart center to bring some attention to your breath. We'll add in an audible breath. We call it ocean breath or ujjayi, which just means that you'll start to breathe with sound. Not pushing or forcing the breath, but just allowing for a gentle whisper in the back of the throat. Preparing to move, relaxing the arms down. We'll use our next inhale to stretch the arms all the way up towards the sky, full body stretch. On your exhale, hinge at the hips to forward fold. On your next inhale, we'll take a half lift shape, hands to shins, looking forward. And on your exhale, bend your knees, plant your hands on the mat, and step back to a high plank top of a push-up. Dropping the knees down to the mat, modifying for this first one. Inhale at the top of your push-up, and on your exhale, lower all the way down. We'll take just one back bend. Inhale, roll the chest up, cobra or upward facing dog. And then exhale back to downward facing dog or any shape that feels like rest. We'll pause here for a couple rounds of breaths. And if you're in downward dog or tabletop, you're welcome to find some intuitive movement. And just so that we know where it is for the rest of the practice, we'll find a child's pose. Drop the knees out wide, bring the big toes to touch, and sit your hips back to your heels, resting all the way down. We'll take a few rounds of breath in child's pose, but just know that this shape is available to you at any point in the practice if you need to rest. Take one more breath, and then we'll lift up out of child's pose and we'll come back through tabletop to downward facing dog. Once you get there, look between your hands, bend your knees, and take a walk to the top of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Squeeze your belly, relax your head. Inhale, rise all the way up. And exhale, palms float down. That was our first sun salute A. We'll do two more. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, plank pose. Inhale at the top, exhale, lower down with control. Take a back bend with your inhale, lift your chest. And exhale back to downward dog, tabletop, or child's pose, any shape that feels like rest. Take 2 deep breaths. And then we'll make a transition to the top of the mat. Look between the hands, bend the knees, step, walk, or take a hop. Half lift on your inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root the feet, rise the arms all the way up. And exhale, palms float down. Last one, sun salute A. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plank pose. Inhale, exhale, lower down, elbows hug the rib cage. Inhale, upward facing or high cobra. Exhale back, downward facing dog or any resting shape. Take one more breath. And then travel forward. Look between your hands, bend your knees, step, walk, or take a hop. Half lift on your inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, palms float down. We'll move into a sun salute B. It starts with chair pose. Bend the knees, sweep the arms up. Fierce. On your next inhale, straighten the legs, and on your exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, plant the palms, step back to plank pose. This part's the same. Inhale at the top, exhale, lower. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward dog. This is where it differs. Right foot to the sky for a three-legged dog, just to check in. From here, we'll step it forward for a warrior one. Right foot to right thumb. You can stay up on the ball of your left foot or drop the heel down. On your inhale, pick your torso up tall, catch your balance. And on your exhale, float the hands back down to the mat. Step back to plank. Inhale. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, cobra or upward dog. Exhale, downward dog, and to the other side. Left leg flies, three-legged dog. Inhale here and exhale. Take that giant step forward into warrior one. Strong belly, use your inhale to rise up. Catch your balance. And exhale, float it back down. Press your hands into the mat. Step back. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, back bend. And exhale, back to any shape that feels like rest. Child's pose is nice to give the shoulders and the wrists a break. We'll take 2 more breaths. And then we'll start to make that transition back to downward dog if you're not there already. Once you get there, look between the hands, bend the knees, step, walk, or hop. Half lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up through chair pose. And exhale, straighten the legs, hands float down. Let's do one more of B. Bend the knees, sweep the arms, chair pose. Inhale, exhale, straighten the legs, and fold. A little faster this time. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plank pose and lower down. Take your time. Inhale, take your back bend. And exhale, downward dog. Step your right foot forward, warrior one. Inhale, lift your chest, catch your balance. Exhale, float it back down. Step back to plank. Inhale, exhale, lower. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, downward dog. Left foot forward, warrior one. Inhale, you rise. Then exhale, you transition. Float the hands down, step back to plank. Inhale and exhale. Inhale for cobra. And exhale to any shape that feels like rest. Checking in with your body, noticing if your muscles feel warm. And tuning back into that audible breath with sound. Look between the hands, bend the knees, step, walk, or hop. Half lift on your inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up. And exhale, palms float down. From here, we'll bring the hands to the hips, and you'll step or hop your feet out about hip width distance. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, hinge at the hips to forward fold, and we're coming into ragdoll. Head and neck hang heavy, arms relax to the floor. Deep breaths in through the nose. Any variations of this shape that you like, you might grab opposite elbows and take a little sway from side to side, or maybe even a little bit more active, grabbing on to your big toes with your peace sign fingers and pull. Let's take one more solid breath. And then we'll inhale, half lift. Exhale, hands to hips. And then inhale to rise all the way up to a stand. Exhale, hop the feet together. From here, take a giant step out with your right foot and spin your right toes to face the back of the mat while your left toes point forward. Bring your arms out like a T, and we're coming into triangle. Right hand down, left arm to the sky. Think about rolling your left ribs open. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, switch out your feet. Right toes in, left toes out. Reach forward, and then coming into triangle on the left side. Right ribs roll open. Both legs are working. Your choice with your gaze, maybe looking up or down. And then we'll use our next inhale to rise up and exhale to step up to the top of the mat. Take a breath. We'll bring the hands back to the hips, and again, we're taking a big wide step out with the right foot. We're coming into extended side angle posture. So big step out right. Again, turn your right toes to face the back of the mat and keep your left toes pointing forward. We'll bend and straighten into the right knee. Right forearm to right thigh, left arm up and over. Keep reaching, keep breathing. And then change. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, straighten your right leg. Right toes in, left toes out. Bend your left knee. And then left forearm to left thigh, right arm stretches. Firm up the belly and both of your legs. One more breath. And then we'll inhale, rise up. And exhale, step up to the top of the mat. Bring your hands back to your hips. Again, a wide step out with your right foot. This time, all 10 toes face the wide side of the mat. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, forward fold down the middle. Strong legs, breathing into the hamstrings and inner thighs. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, hands to hips. Inhale to rise up. And exhale at the top. Interlace your fingers back behind your back. Inhale, open your chest. And exhale, forward fold. You can keep your hands on your low back or rotate the arms up overhead. Pressing into your big toes On your next inhale, rise all the way up, and exhale, hands to hips. Step up to the top of the mat. Take a breath. We'll come into pyramid posture from here. Step your left foot back behind you about 2 feet away from your right. All 10 toes point forward. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, hinge at the hips and fold about halfway. Keeping your hips squared to the top of the mat, you can stay here or guide your hands down to your top shin. Take one more steady breath. And then hands back to the hips. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, step to the top of the mat. Softly bend the knees. Step your right foot back. Keep your toes pointing forward. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, fold. Check in at this halfway point, and you're welcome to stay or release the hands down to your left shin. Big hamstring stretch for one more breath. And then hands to your hips. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, step to the top of the mat. From here, we will prepare to stand on one foot. So we'll transfer all of our weight over towards the left foot, and we'll hug the right knee up and in. Grab onto the top of the knee if you wish. Find your gazing point, fix your focus, and breathe. Keep your right hand on your right knee, left hand to left hip, and guide your right knee out to the right. Bring your right knee back to the center and let it hover in space with your arms by your sides. Inhale and exhale, lower the leg down, and we'll do the other side. Transfer all of your weight over towards your right foot and hug your left knee up and in. And we'll grab onto it. Find that gazing point, fix your focus, breathe. Left hand to left knee, right hand to right hip. Guide your left knee out to the left. Bring it back to the center and let it hover. Nice breath in, and exhale, set it down. From here, we're going to find a tree posture. So we'll again transfer our weight over towards the left foot, bend the right knee, guide the right knee out to the right, and finding a comfortable but challenging place for that foot to rest, maybe the ankle, calf, or inner thigh. Balance and breathe. Take one more breath, and then we'll release, shake it out, and we'll do the other side. Bend the left knee, guide the left knee out to the left, and finding a place for that foot to rest. Find your gazing point and fix your focus. Soften your shoulders, take one more breath. And then we'll start to let our tree posture go. Set that foot back down. And from here, we're coming back into chair pose. So we'll release the hands, bend the knees, sweep the arms, fierce. Let's hold this chair, feeling some strength in the inner thighs, strength in the legs. Inhale, straighten your legs. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plank pose and lower down. Inhale, upward facing dog or high cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. It's warrior one, but this time to hold. Step your right foot forward and then pick your torso up tall. Breathing here, this gesture of strength. We're going to pivot turn around to the other side. Hands to hips, straighten your right leg, spin all the way around and take your warrior one on the left, facing the back of the mat. From here, it's warrior two. Bring your hands to your hips and allow your hips to square open towards the wide side of the mat as you drop your back heel down. Nice wide stance with the legs, arms out like a T. And your gaze is over your left ring finger, warrior two. From here, we'll take warrior two on the other side. Straighten your left leg, bend your right knee, right toes point towards the top of the mat. Take a big breath in, and on your exhale, take your hands down and step back to plank. Inhale at the top, exhale lower, upward facing inhale, and downward facing exhale. From here, we'll come through to a seat, so take your time. We'll take the legs out long, pressing the hands down into the mat, chuck your chin to your chest, take a breath. And then we will release. Inhale, stretch your arms up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach your arms overhead. Exhale, guide the hands back behind you. You can stay here, or you can plant the hands on the mat and find a reverse table. Bend the knees, plant the feet, and lift the hips up towards the sky. Make sure that the fingers are pointing towards the same way as the toes. We'll take one more breath. And then we'll lower the hips back down. From here, we'll windshield wiper the knees from side to side, finding a release for the low back. Then we'll make our way into another shape. Coming into head to knee posture, we'll slide the left leg out long and pull the right sole of the foot up against the left inner thigh. Inhale, reach. Exhale, soft fold over your straight leg. And change. Let's lift the chest up and we'll switch out the legs. Right leg out long, left foot pulls in. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, flat spine, forward fold. On your next inhale, lift your chest. Then exhale, we'll change to another shape. Slide your left leg out long, bend your right knee, plant the right sole of the foot on the mat, and give your right leg a hug for about 3 deep breaths. From here, we'll turn it into a twist. Take your right arm back behind you, left hand to your right knee. Inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, twist. We'll start to unwind. Make your way back to the center. Slide your right leg out long. Bend your left knee. Plant the left foot on the mat and give it a hug. Couple of breaths. And then we will twist. Left hand back behind you, right arm around your left knee. Inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, twist. A nice breath in. And on your exhale, unwind, and we'll take a vinyasa across at the ankles. Roll over the feet, coming to plank pose. Inhale, exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift your chest, and exhale, downward dog. We'll come through to a seat again. For everybody's favorite, it's boat pose. So we'll come into boat. We'll start with a modified shape, hands underneath your knee creases, lifting the feet. And you're welcome to stay here or slide the arms out long. Just one boat today. A few more breaths. We'll release our boat and we're coming into butterfly. Set the feet down on the mat, feet together, knees out wide. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, we'll kick our legs out wide for a wide angle fold. Using the help of your hands to guide your torso forward, feeling a stretch in the inner thighs. Keep your legs active by flexing the toes up towards the sky. Using the help of your hands to lift your chest up tall, we'll wiggle the legs back together. And we'll try some rock and rolls on the spine. So hands back behind the knee creases. Keep your chin close to your chest. And try a couple of rocks and rolls on the length of the spine. After rocking and rolling, we're going to lay all the way down on the mat. We'll set up for some hamstring stretching. Stretch your right leg up towards the sky, grab onto the back of the leg, and if you like, slide your left leg out long as you flex and point the right set of toes. From here, we'll guide the right knee out to the right for an open hip shape. Left hand to your left hip for some support. Take one more breath. And then we'll bring it back to the center. Take a bow, shoulders and head off the mat, nose to knee. Nice breath in. And exhale, we'll lay all the way down. Let's try the other side. We'll bend the knees and take the left leg up to the sky and we'll grab onto it. Circle out the ankle, flex and point the foot, and maybe slide your right leg out long. Nice big stretch for the hamstrings. We'll take a couple more breaths. And then we'll guide the left leg out to the left for an open hip shape. Keep your right hand on your right hip or thigh just to encourage some grounding on that side. Inhale, bring it back to the center. Exhale, take your bow, shoulders and head off the mat, nose to knee. And then relaxing everything all the way down. We'll bend the knees, plant the feet on the mat, and drop the knees from side to side. And then we'll sit up for a back bend practice. Scoot your heels nice and close to your body, but keep them separated from each other. And we'll go for a flowing bridge. Inhale, lift your hips up. And exhale, put them back down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. And hold. Strong legs, take one more breath in bridge posture. And then we'll lower the hips all the way back down. Once your low back finds the mat, hug your knees into your chest, give them a squeeze, take a breath. And then we'll go for 2 more back bends. You can repeat the same bridge pose, maybe with a variation. So we'll just hold for this one. Inhale, lift up, and keep breathing. Like I said, you might want to interlace the fingers back behind the back and add in a little shoulder stretch, a bind. Take one more breath. And then we'll lower the hips back down. Once your low back finds the mat, hug your knees into your chest. Take a breath. And we'll do one more back bend. Again, you're welcome to repeat the bridge posture that we have been practicing, but if there's another back bend in your practice that speaks to you for today, go for it. That might mean a full wheel or something else. When you feel ready, lift your hips up towards the sky. Again, make sure that there is space between your big toes and that all 4 corners of both feet are firmly pressed into the mat. All of the weight is on your shoulders, not your neck. Breathe. this is your back bend practice, noticing what feels good for you today. Take a nice breath in. And on your exhale, we'll lower all the way back down to the mat. Once your low back reaches the mat, let your spine come back to neutral, especially if you did a full wheel. And then we'll hug the knees back into the chest. Take a little rock from side to side and a couple of breaths here. Doing some circles with your knees, helping to release your low back. Eventually we'll stretch both legs up towards the sky, separating through your ankles so that you can circle them out, flex and point. And you might choose to stay here. If you want to add in a bonus wrist compression, you can wobble the hips from side to side as you take your hands underneath your low back, underneath your glutes. We do a lot on our wrists in yoga, so it's nice to give them a little extra care. This is also really nice for carpal tunnel, or if you just use your hands a lot, it's good to give them some compression. You're welcome to stay here in waterfall. If you wanted to find a deeper inversion and you have a healthy neck, you can move into a shoulder stand. For that to happen, you'll press into your hands and start to roll your feet up overhead so that the weight moves onto your shoulders. From there, you'll catch your lower back or your upper back with your hands, elbows to the mat. From here, you can keep your knees over your face, or you can straighten out one leg and then the other, maybe one at a time, maybe both. Trying to get the toes over the knees, over the hips, over the shoulders. You can also let the feet fall softly overhead. We'll take a couple more breaths. Make sure that this feels safe. And then we'll start to make our way out. Bring your hands down to the mat first and slowly roll back onto the spine, planting the feet on the mat and dropping the knees from side to side. From here, we'll hug the knees back into the chest, and we'll make our way up to an easy cross-legged shape. So before we take our place of rest, we'll sit up tall and take a few rounds of breath. If half lotus or full lotus is in your practice, you're welcome to do that here. Hands resting on the knees, shoulders over hips. Returning back to the breath with sound. On your next inhale, lift your chest. On your exhale, we'll forward fold. Variation of Yoga Mudra. When you feel ready, we'll lift back up. And it's time for Shavasana. We'll unwind the legs, lay all the way down, take up space, and a few minutes of rest. You're welcome to take this posture seated if you enjoyed that more. Starting to bring some awareness back to your breath. Rocking your head from side to side and wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes. Circle out your wrists and your ankles. And then do a full body stretch. Reach your arms up overhead. Take a big breath in as you stretch and reach. Exhale, open the mouth and sigh it out. Hug your knees back into your chest. Thank your body for all that it does. And then we'll make our way back up to an easy seated shape. Shoulders over hips. This time we'll press the palms together in connection. Take a nice breath in. And exhale to let the breath go. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all beings everywhere be happy and free. Go in peace. Namaste.